I'm going to do something very unusual. I'm going to begin by playing something on my computer. It's only the second time that's ever happened. A little bit of introduction. I heard this story on NPR. That's very important.
On WLRN, I'm Alicia Zuckerman.
And I'm Dan Gretsch. A few weeks after the earthquake hit, I met Lynn Neifeld. She's the head of physical therapy at Jackson Memorial Hospital. And she told me about this extraordinary video that a doctor had taken while he was in Haiti. It took us a while, but we finally tracked down that video.
We can't show you the video because of patient privacy issues and also because this is radio. But we can play you the audio.
Okay, so to set this up, I spoke to 4 different medical staff who were all there for the moment.
They are David Pitcher.
I'm an orthopedic oncologic surgeon at the University of Miami.
John McDonald.
I am a retired thoracic vascular surgeon from Broward County.
Carmen Maria Romero.
I'm a physical therapist. I've been volunteering in Haiti for 10 years.
And David Chan, who took the video.
I'm an orthopedic surgery resident at the University of Miami, Jackson Memorial Hospital.
We also added in some sound that was recorded right after the earthquake in Haiti. It's from the tarmac of the Port-au-Prince airport and from the medical tent.
I remember flying over Haiti and being amazed because it was actually very cloudy over the island itself, and it was getting towards sunset. The way the light hit the clouds was just so beautiful, and I can vividly remember the stark contrast between the breaking the cloud cover and going down underneath the clouds and seeing the island.
I knew it would be frustrating that I would be able to use very little of whatever talent I had, but I knew that what little talent I had was better than what they had.
I've been in the Army, and I've done all kinds of medical triage and mass casualty, and I don't think there was anything that could have prepared any of us for something like this.
We landed at night.
We arrived into a war zone, soldiers from all different countries.
You smell all this airplane fumes.
Darkness everywhere except some generator lights around the airport.
We took an SUV to the compound
To the tent hospital.
The tent hospital was basically comprised of 4 large tents, like
Huge carnival tents.
Like a small circus tent, but instead of amusement, you have literally cot to cot to cot.
Rows and rows of basic cots with patients on.
125 people, and they're all injured.
The vast majority of the wounded were crushed injuries.
Crush injuries to the upper extremity, lower extremity, crush injuries to the pelvis.
Open huge holes in the skin, legs, back.
broken femurs, broken tibias that they couldn't get up.
The temperature was about 90 degrees. Mosquitoes were everywhere.
The smell was all mixed in together.
It smelled like rotten flesh,
Like dead rats.
Smell of massive humans, of urine,
Urine, stool,
unchanged bandages.
of wounds, blood, of, I would say, dirty wounds.
no running water, no toilets, and we only had morphine tablets in our pockets that we would peel off and put in the patient's mouths like hosts.
You're feeling and you're hearing souls that have just been cracked and crushed. It's very heavy.
How could you not be completely exhausted?
We all felt overwhelmed with worthlessness as physicians and realized that this was a catastrophe that was beyond anything we had ever even imagined. And then this happened.
It was probably between, I don't know, 9 or 10.
Probably 8:30 or 9, or maybe even 9:30.
It's in the evening. I don't know what time it was.
I was dressing wounds.
I was doing something.
I'm outside the tent.
I was in the tent. I don't know. I'm not sure why I was there.
I was treating a pediatric case because we were just so short-staffed.
Has been basically up 34 out of 36 hours.
We had amputations to do, we had debridement, so cleaning out infected wounds.
I'm kind of mentally preparing myself to go around on all the patients that were there in the tent hospital.
It all started up in the upper right side of where the tent was.
The guy just walks in with his guitar, takes this makeshift chair that we have, and he sits down and he just starts to play his guitar.
And then you hear people around the guitar beginning to harmonize or sing something.
And then each row started to sing.
swelled. It's louder and louder and louder.
And louder and louder. And as I open up the door, sound is triple. Every patient, whole, everybody is singing these words.
It stopped everything. It stopped all of us. All the sounds of trauma just went away. It felt like it consumed all of Port-au-Prince. It was that loud.
I remember panning my camera around, and I just see this crowd of people singing and dancing in the center of the tent.
People were jumping up and down. People with head wounds.
People that couldn't get up because of their injuries, they were still singing and clapping along.
We had one little boy who he wouldn't get up because the pain was just so debilitating, and his mother helped him stand up so he could dance on his one leg.
I, to this day, have no idea what those folks were singing.
It was obviously a chorus that they knew.
It's so hard to describe.
Something that was not familiar to me.
Something that sounds almost religious.
Until I heard the word Jesus.
We turned to one of the translators and said, "What are they singing?" He said, "They're singing Jesus. Thank you for loving us." It was like a knife hitting us. I mean, from what we had seen, the amputees, the kids, and when they sang that way, and the joy and the happiness that they had, it was a tipping point. Things changed after that.
It's extremely humbling to be around a people that in the worst time of their life have it in their hearts to give gratitude for what they have left, which is basically dust.
I was so brokenhearted myself. Just so tired, so sweaty, so fly-ridden, really. And in the process of pulling themselves up, they were pulling the nurses and the doctors up, and giving us a great sense of hope.
I decided at that moment that what I had witnessed was just such a beautiful example of human courage that I would do anything in my power, in my life, to help Haiti rebuild. And so I quit my job. I left my family, which is my immediate family. I have an identical twin, 2 older brothers and an older sister, nephews, my mother and father. And so I'm living in Haiti. I took a position with Partners in Health to support local Haitians to heal themselves. I think at that moment, they gave us the opportunity to really understand them and their pain and their strength and their belief. I don't think anybody in that room will ever be the same.
Amen. Wow. Wow. Of course, these people, they didn't have the language, and they're talking about human in the face of human courage, and so on. You know, it's like, but she said, I don't know if you heard that. It was kind of noisy at the end. The woman said it was so amazing to see this human strength. But nobody in that room will ever be the same. She went home to America, quit her job, left her family, and moved to Haiti. And that's an encounter with the kingdom of God. She didn't have the language. And people that don't need to have language, you know. All she knows is she had this encounter with God. She doesn't have the language to put it in.